I'm Ashton Addison from EventChain for Investment Pitch Media and FinTech News Network. And today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Aubrey Strobel, the head of communications at Lolli. Aubrey, welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to have you here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Ashton.
You're very welcome. Let's start the interview by digging into the platform. I'd love to hear, in your opinion, what is Lolli all about?
Lolli is simple. We're just trying to make Bitcoin more accessible to the masses. And we found the easiest way to do that is to give people Bitcoin by shopping online. So the website's lolli.com. You can go on there and shop from over 1,000 merchants and brands, places that you're probably already shopping, and earn fractions of a Bitcoin for free. So you don't even have to change any of your normal behaviors.
That's great. And I did read into the rewards, and it showed up to 30% Bitcoin back, at the very top. And I'm guessing that's not the average, but it sounds very lucrative. And if you're already doing the shopping anyway, why not, right? So how exactly does Lolli work? How do you get Bitcoin back? And what is sort of the more average return that you're going to see, or discount you're going to see for getting Bitcoin?
Yeah, so our average return is around 7 to 9% back on your purchases. So some retailers offer more, some offer less. It kind of just depends. We have direct partnerships with all these retailers, so we're negotiating increases all the time on behalf of our customers. But yeah, I think people have a little bit of a confusion around how our business model works, and it's really simple. We're bringing in money, revenue to these companies. And so they pay us. We're incentivized to bring customers in. And then they pay us. And we split that check with our customers and send Bitcoin back to their wallet. So it's not that crazy. It's just more, kind of an incentivization for the merchant, for the customer, and for us.
Well, it seems like a really ideal way to get Bitcoin, or get your first Bitcoin, for people that aren't really familiar with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and how to hold them and store them. And of course, they're already going to be doing shopping. So, is this an ideal way, or are you seeing a lot of the customers that are using Lolli are very new to cryptocurrencies?
Yeah, we have a lot of new users, and that's the point, right? We want people who are looking to own Bitcoin for the first time, but maybe they're afraid of mining. That's not going to be a lot of people's first option. And I think we all saw this industry have a lot of people join exchanges in 2017, and they've kind of just left their money there. Lolli actually has one of the most active wallets because people are shopping and buying all the time. And you wouldn't actually normally think that way, but yeah, we have a bunch of new users, and it doesn't feel like you're using the technology. And that's the brilliance of Lolli. Like, you shouldn't really have to be a technical person to own Bitcoin. We're lowering the barrier to entry for people who I'm shopping online, I'm going to go buy a flight, and I'm going to get Bitcoin back for that. I mean, I think it's a pretty universal way to bring Bitcoin to the masses.
And that's really interesting that you've partnered with these retailers and these brands, and then you're able to give Bitcoin back. Now, I'm curious, when a regular user is shopping, those retailers aren't accepting Bitcoin themselves, are they? You're actually just purchasing normally through your credit card, or is it both?
So some of these retailers may accept Bitcoin, but that's not related to us. We transfer that check that they give us into Bitcoin, and then we purchase it and buy it for our customers and send it to their wallet. So a lot of these, at least some of the bigger partners and brands, they're, I think, a little still wary of Bitcoin, but I think we're kind of like letting them dip their toe in the water and kind of be in the Bitcoin space without having to directly accept it as a payment. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, you mentioned that you've already partnered with 1,000 different brands, which is crazy, but there are tens of thousands of brands out there. How are you continuing to grow the partnerships at Lolli, and are there more incentives for bigger brands to come and join in?
Yeah, I think the more that people demand Bitcoin, the more incentives that these companies have to get involved in this space. And I think, it's kind of funny. We have a lot of followers that will tag these companies and ask them to join Lolli. And when we put the pressure on them, I think they kind of slowly kind of get involved. And there's a lot of companies that are really excited about partnering with us. Like Bitcoin's not weird to them; they're excited to be a partner, and a lot of people are really proud partners. So, Alex, the CEO of Lolli, he has a lot of really great relationships. He comes from an e-commerce background, so we had a lot of really strong relationships from basically the jump of Lolli. It wasn't something that we had to really build up, which was nice because I think when we first launched in August of 2018, we had about 500 merchants already on board. So that was great. And so now we're just continuing to develop these relationships and kind of pitch to partners and see if they'd like to partner with us.
Yeah, well, that's great to hear. And throughout the first few months of 2020, there was a lot of more online shopping and a lot of people were locked down from the pandemic. Did you see an influx of growth in the Lolli platform because of this as well?
We saw a ton of growth. We had more people shopping online and referring their friends to Lolli than ever before. And I think that was, a little bit in part for grocery shopping as well. People, couldn't go for a little bit into the store to actually purchase their groceries. So that brought people to change the behaviors and have to order their groceries online. We're partnered with Safeway and Albertsons and Bonds and a bunch of other big grocery chains across the country. So you can actually order your groceries online, go pick them up, and have this contactless service through Lolli by proxy and earn Bitcoin through that. So I think a lot of people were finding new ways to shop, buy things, have it sent to their house if they couldn't go to the store. So yeah, it was actually a really obviously a horrible time for the economy and for most of the world, but we've been doing okay through this time. Yeah.
Well, that's good to know. And one of the questions I have about these platforms, you get a lot of new users come in, sort of like you mentioned with exchanges, where everyone signs up and then they sort of lose that, the novelty wears off. But with Lolli, you're continually, as you purchase, you're always accumulating more Bitcoin. So do you see Lolli as separated out from users that come on, they actually stay on and they continue to shop because they're always going to be receiving Bitcoin? Or do you see users that just use it once and then they sort of lose the novelty of it?
Yeah, I think people who are a little, I guess, more new to the space and new to Bitcoin, they might need to be educated a little bit more on the benefits of Bitcoin. And it's interesting, the people who started stacking sats or earning Bitcoin with Lolli in, I guess, early 2019 have seen almost those earnings double. And those are like the stats we like to share with people to say, like, if you would have bought this item a year ago, it could have paid for itself by now, which is crazy to think. And so it's that incentive. So it's like, why would you get cash back when you could get Bitcoin back with Lolli? And I think that's the kind of mindset and kind of just change in thinking that we're trying to put out there.
That's great. And, looking forward, I hope that trend continues as well. And so with Lolli, looking forward, are you looking at releasing more functions into the product, or is there something else that the users can look forward to, or is it more partnerships, more brands?
Yeah, so we're actually very excited. We're going to be launching our mobile app later this summer. So it's something to stay tuned for, and you'll hear all about that on our Twitter channel at TryLolli first. So definitely follow us on there if you're not following us. That'll be really exciting, and people will be able to earn Bitcoin back from the palm of their hand. So we're excited about that. And then, onwards towards the end of the year, we're actually going to be in your neck of the woods, expanding into Canada. That will be our first country.
Very cool. I like the international expansion.
Yeah.
And so as you continue to grow as well, there may be challenges and obstacles that Lolli may have to overcome. What do you foresee as some of the largest obstacles that you need to get over to continue the growth of the platform?
I think it's easing people's fears about getting involved. Honestly, I think people were very scared about Bitcoin in 2017, and they see it as volatile. And we got to be honest with people, Bitcoin is volatile. But you're not putting your own money into Lolli. You're not investing with your own money. You're just shopping as you normally would. So we've taken the risk out of the equation for people. And I think that kind of calms their fears a bit. And so there's really like no loss. Like there's only like, if Bitcoin is successful, you could be pretty wealthy one day, if it all pans out. So I think there's also just an education part of it, educating people about the technology, use cases for it as Bitcoin as a store of value. I think that that's part of Lolli's job, is to educate people on top of providing it to them. We can't just hand out Bitcoin. We need to tell them why it's important and why it's useful.
Yeah, it's really interesting how there's those external forces of how much does the public know about Bitcoin, and how much is that going to affect the success of the company. So are there education initiatives or learning initiatives, or just putting the word out there from Lolli to explain not just about the platform, but just about the general benefits of owning these virtual currencies?
On behalf of Lolli, we are really trying to put out a lot of educational materials on our blog. So if you go to blog.lolli.com, you can learn quite a bit about Bitcoin and its beginnings, its technology, pretty much anything you would want to know. On top of that, we're actually partnered with a lot of educational platforms. You could take a course on blockchain and Bitcoin on Coursera and earn Bitcoin for learning about Bitcoin, which I think is pretty great. So we are always promoting education. We encourage our users to read the Bitcoin standard, to get involved, and we pump this out in our marketing emails and a lot of other platforms. So education, we want people to be educated about Bitcoin. I think then they can tell their friends. It's a word of mouth thing. We're trying to spread the good news about Bitcoin.
Yeah, well, that's great. And Bitcoin Standard is a great book as well. So I'm glad you're preaching the education aspect of it, and education is key. So how can the viewers learn more about Lolli, get started, and get involved with the community?
Yeah, so Lolli is very simple. I would say it is the easiest way to own Bitcoin that's currently available on the market. So you just want to go to lolli.com, sign up, make an account. You can download the browser extension on Edge, Firefox, or Chrome, and then basically go to our stores page, start browsing 1,000+ brands, and then pick something you like and check out, and soon you'll have Bitcoin in your wallet. It's pretty simple. If you want to follow us on our social handles, we're at TryLolli, at Lolli on Instagram, and I think that's where we're going on TikTok soon. So stay tuned for some more Lolli content.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much, Aubrey. I will leave those links in the description box below for the viewers. That's all the time that we have for the interview, but I really appreciate you coming on and talking about Lolli and about Bitcoin, and all the best moving forward with Lolli, and let's follow up in the near future.
Thank you so much, Ashton.